All right, I'm going to talk to you today about leadership. I'm going to talk to you about building your organization, building your business, and I'm reading 21 Laws of Leadership by John Maxwell again. And we're going to talk about the law of the lid, and I want you to think about your real estate business as either a practice or a business. Now, a practice is something that involves you. An attorney has a practice. The attorney doesn't make money unless she's meeting with clients. A business is a large organization that you own that makes money directly from your efforts or indirectly from people that are a part of your organization through leverage. So as I'm sharing what I'm going to share with you today, I want you to think about this from your point of view, from your real estate business, from the company that you're in business with. I'm going to start out by sharing a story with you that John Maxwell shares in the beginning of this book. And give me 1 second. I lost my place. All right, here we go. I highlighted, so I'm not going to share 3 pages with you. I'm just going to share the highlights. So he says, let me tell you a story that illustrates the law of the lid. In 1930, 2 young brothers named Dick and Maurice moved from New Hampshire to California in search of the American dream. The brothers' desire for success was strong, so they kept looking for better business opportunities. Drive-in restaurants were a phenomenon springing up in the early 30s as people became more dependent on cars. For those of you who are older than 40, you remember those. The rest of you can Google it. In 1937, Dick and Maurice opened a small drive-in restaurant in Pasadena, and it was a great success. In 1940, they decided to move the operation to San Bernardino, a working-class hometown 50 miles east of Los Angeles, built a larger facility and expanded their menu from hot dogs, fries, and shakes to include barbecue beef, pork sandwiches, hamburgers, and other items. Really pay attention, okay? Because I'm talking about you, I'm talking about your real estate business, I'm talking about the evolution of real estate. All right. In 1948, their intuition, oh boy, pay attention to that word. There's a great book you should read, add it to your list. It's called Who Moved My Cheese? And pay attention, have intuition, what's going on around you. Things are changing. You don't want to be the mouse in the middle of the maze saying, where's the cheese? Who moved my cheese? You want to be able to have intuition and see that the cheese is moving in order to be proactive and move before, make changes before innovation changes the way you're doing business. And now you're looking and asking, now what? Who moved my cheese? So in 1948, their intuition told them that times were changing. They eliminated the car hops, started serving only walk-up customers, and streamlined everything to reduce their costs and lower their prices. That's important. Pay attention to that. They reduced their menu and put their focus on selling hamburgers. They eliminated plates, glassware, and metal utensils, switching to paper products only. They also created what they called the speedy service system. This was brand new, it was innovative, it was disruptive, and by the mid-1950s, annual revenue hit $350,000. Okay, well, first of all, in the mid-1950s, $350,000 is a lot of money, all right? And by then, Dick and Maurice split net profits of about $100,000 each year. Who were these brothers? You probably already guessed their last name, McDonald. Dick and Maurice McDonald had hit their great American jackpot, and the rest, as they say, is history. And the answer to that would be wrong. The McDonald's never went any further because their leadership put a lid on their ability to succeed. Then in 1954, the brothers met Ray Kroc. He had been running a small company that sold machines for milkshakes. Kroc knew the McDonald brothers because the restaurants was one of his best customers. In 1955, he formed McDonald's Systems, Inc., later called McDonald's Corporation. By 1955 and 1959, between 1955 and 1959, Kroc succeeded in opening 100 restaurants. Fast forward. Today, McDonald's has opened more than 38,000 restaurants in 120 countries. In 2019, it recorded a net income of $6.1 billion, and its net worth is estimated $170 million. So why was Ray Kroc able to take the startup business that the brothers had started and called McDonald's? Why was he able to take that to a worldwide franchise that is one of the most profitable businesses in the United States today? And the answer is because of leadership. His leadership lid was high. Where the brothers, they were smart, they were good business people, they knew how to build a successful business, but they didn't know how to expand that business in order to make it what McDonald's is today. It took Ray Kroc's leadership. Now, you're building a business. And if you're building a business or a team, I want you to write down 5 things that are going to make your team successful. Without these 5 things, it's not going to be successful, or it's not going to be as successful as it could be. And having a coaching conversation yesterday with an agent who is with, doesn't matter, and is part of a team that is not operating according to a successful organizational model, which I'm going to show you in a minute, and is not providing these 5 pillars of success, she's frustrated. She's part of an organization that's not serving her needs. And if I'm leading a team, if I'm leading a business, then I know it's my job to deliver on these 5 pillars of support. All right, number 1, dynamic leader. If you're going to build a strong organization, you need a dynamic leader at the top of that organization. I want to get in business with you because of your success, what you've done, what you represent in the industry of real estate. You're a dynamic leader, and I want to be in business with you. Let me pause for a moment and just give you my personal opinion on this. Leadership is doing, it's not talking. So if I'm going to get into business with you, I want to see success. I want to see massive success. I want to model you. And if you haven't succeeded in real estate sales, then how can I model you? When I became a team leader in 2015, I moved my family from Palm Harbor, Florida to Coral Springs to lead an office of 62 agents, and it's small. And there's one reason I did that, because the leader of that organization was a dynamic leader. He had succeeded at a very high level at what I wanted to do. He didn't just talk leadership, he showed leadership, and I wanted to follow him. He was a dynamic leader. The second thing the organization needs to be able to provide is specialized training. So what are you offering to the agents who are in business with you that they can't get anywhere else? When Monica and I were building the Dietz team back in the mid-2000s, part of the specialized training that we offered is if you joined our team, a condition of being on our team is you had to be in the office every day between 9 and 12 o'clock. You had to be lead generating side by side with me. I'm in the room, I'm lead generating with you, and I'm paying attention to what you say. You hang up the phone, and I'm going to coach you on the conversation you just had. Here's what I heard you say. Try saying this next time and see if you get a better result. And we built a really strong organization selling a lot of homes. We had incredibly successful agents. And part of the reason for that was because of the specialized training that they received. The third pillar of support that every organization needs to have. By the way, the agent that I was coaching yesterday, the person at the top of the organization that she's a part of is a massively successful real estate, super mega agent. Dynamic leader? No. Successful agent? Yes. Offering specialized training? Definitely not. Offering no training. Third thing is administrative support. So the 80-20 rule says that 20% of what you do creates 80% of the results you're going to get. So if I'm a listing specialist on your team, my 20% is lead generation, going on listing appointments, and getting seller listings. That's it. Now, if you can provide me with administrative support that is the wind beneath my wings, then you're giving me the opportunity to focus all of my time on my 20%. Therefore, I can sell more homes and make more money. Even sharing those commissions with you, I'm still making more money because you're providing me with tremendous, extraordinary administrative support. The fourth pillar is leads. If you're providing agents that are part of your organization with leads, then that's support. And ask anybody that you're interviewing to be a part of your group and ask them what they're looking for. You're always going to hear leads. So what are you doing in order to provide leads to the agents that are a part of your organization? The fifth pillar is appointments. Now, appointments are the silver bullet in this conversation, meaning appointments are better than leads. If Lonnie is a part of my organization, I say, hey, Lonnie, here's a lead. This came in on the internet. These people are looking to buy a home. They asked for more information on our listing at 123 Main Street. That's awesome. However, if I have an inside sales associate who is responding to these leads and the ISA is talking to that potential buyer, they're asking questions, they're doing a needs analysis, they're pre-qualifying the buyer, and they turned that conversation into an appointment. In other words, Mr. and Mrs. Buyer, sounds like you absolutely could use our help. We want to work with you. I can schedule a buyer consultation with one of our buyer specialists for whatever market you're in, Coral Springs, Fort Lauderdale, Tamarack, Charlotte, wherever you are. I can schedule a buyer consultation for you with one of our buyer specialists. Would tomorrow at 5 work or would 5 be better? And they say 5. Okay, cool. I'm gonna have that buyer specialist follow up with you, and they're gonna meet with you tomorrow at 5. Now I go to Lonnie and I say, okay, Lonnie, here's these 2 individuals who want to buy a home, and we've scheduled an appointment for you to meet with them tomorrow at 5 p.m. Well, there's massive value in that. Matter of fact, if you're offering splits to your agents and you're following a traditional model and you're on a 50-50 split with your agents, it's 60-40, 70-30, doesn't matter. Here's the point. If you're providing them with an appointment versus a lead, you as the rainmaker of that organization can actually keep more money because there's more value in the appointment than there is in the lead. All right. Now, what does a successful organizational chart look like? Well, it's the top of the page. Ignore the bottom for now. All right. At the top of the page, you see we have a team leader, and then directly below the team leader, we have administrative support. We have a lead administrative assistant. We have a transaction coordinator. We have a director of marketing, and we have a transaction coordinator. Think of this as the kitchen that supports the dining room. If you opened up a restaurant and you put 50 tables in the dining room and you have a kitchen staff that's supporting 50 tables and you're doing really, really well. So you decide that you're going to increase revenue, increase profit by adding 50 more tables. In other words, you double the size of your dining room and you don't hire additional kitchen support. What you're doing is you're putting your kitchen in the weeds. And on a Friday night during rush hour, your kitchen's going to walk out because your kitchen staff is frustrated. They're overwhelmed. They can't handle the amount of business that you're doing, and they're out the door. And your succeeding business all of a sudden is failing because you didn't start with the back of the house first. So build your organization from the back of the house, not the front of the house. Now, once you've got your administrative support staff ready, working, following systems, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to hire sales. And that's going to come in the form of buyer agents. You could hire 1, 2, 3 buyer agents, as many as you can handle. And the next level of support you're going to hire is showing assistants. Showing assistants are going to enable your buyers to work with your buyer agents to work with more buyers because they're not out running around showing properties. A really good buyer's agent can handle 5 or 6 A buyers at a time. An A buyer is somebody who's going to buy a home in the next 30 days. And a really good buyer's agent can probably handle 5 or 6, and that's it. Now, if you want to enable that buyer's agent to work with 8 to 10 buyers, then take away showings and hire a showing assistant who's going to show properties to all of your buyers until the buyer is ready to make an offer. And then they hand it back to the buyer's agent who takes care of writing the offer and negotiating. Now, over here on the left side of this model, I'm going to hire a listing specialist. And if I'm following the model and I'm doing this right, I'm providing that listing specialist with appointments. I'm providing them with lots of appointments. And I can put them on a lower split because all they have to do is go get listings. That's it. That's their job. Go get listings. We'll sell them. And that listing specialist can list 8, 9, 10, 12 homes a month, and you could pay them on a salary. You don't have to pay them on a commission split, which is going to enable you to follow the budget model and earn at least 40% net on gross income. In interviewing the top agents in our country, what I've found is most are earning around 20 to 25% of the gross. That's their net at the most because they're not following the model. All right, what most real estate agents do is they do this at the bottom of the page. You have a team leader at the top. We have no organizational model. We have no administrative support. And then we just have agents. Agent 1, Agent 2, Agent 3, Agent 4. This is not an organizational model. It's a glob. And you have a group of real estate agents who just work in this glob. They're all doing the same thing. They're working with buyers. They're working with sellers. And the only thing that the team has in common is they're using the Rainmaker's credit card. That's it. All right. You want to build a really strong organization? Start by being a leader that people would want to follow. Why should I follow you? One of the questions that I ask myself every day is, why would anybody follow me? You should be asking the same question. Why would anybody follow you? All right, Clarissa, you got your hand up. Talk to me.
I was just saying you were freezing up a little.
Yeah.
I wasn't able to see the sheet, so I'm not sure. I've seen it a million times, but I'm not sure about others.
Yeah, I apologize for that, guys. I'm not sure. Internet signal. I was getting a notice that the internet signal was not great. That doesn't happen very often, and I apologize for that. Maybe we need to do this one again. I'll put it on the calendar again in a couple of weeks. Clarissa, it hasn't been a million times. It's been a lot of times.
Yes, a lot.
Yeah, I will post it to the group. We'll see what the video looks like. Hopefully the video, you can make sense of what I was talking about. And I know that I'm coming at you really, really fast. It's because we're on a time limit here and I have a lot of information to share. It's important. All right. Any ahas? Did anybody see? I feel like this was a total fail. I'm sorry. Did anybody see enough that you're able to share? John, here's what I heard. And if not, that's okay. I'll just do this again.
Hey, John, I'm driving, so I'll just jump in without raising my hand. You know, I mean, being somebody that's been in large organizations my entire career up until getting into real estate, what I would say to you is that I never thought of a real estate organization like you just showed. Not necessarily. And it's 100% makes sense, pure, just absolute truth. Yeah. So, you know, I mean, building your organization from the back up is just the right thing to do. So I appreciate what you shared today.
Thank you, Jack. I do appreciate that. Diane, talk to us.
So, John, you've spoken on this subject a few times, and I'm not thinking about building a team, but sometimes I do see the value of it. And I'm starting to feel like right now I'm on the hunt for admin because I can't do all this by myself. And my 20% is my 80% right now, or 90%.
Mhm,
And I've already blocked out my calendar for the year.
mhm.
In terms of my personal time, I'm not changing that. But, you know, I am definitely feeling like I got to take that first step. And so, yeah, it's not, you know, this is not new information, but my aha from today is if you don't have those 5 characteristics of building your organization or building your own business, those are all like legs to your chair or your table. If one
Mhm,
isn't right, it
mhm.
will fall.
Yep, that's right. Thank you, Diane, for sharing. So a couple things on that. I am extremely repetitive. Repetition is the mother of learning. So I'm going to keep being repetitive. I've been part of many, many masterminds, and one of the best masterminds that I was a part of was Gary Keller's. And Gary Keller would always start the conversation in a mastermind group with leads, listings, leverage. What do you guys want to talk about? And being in that group for more than 15 years, he never changed. Leads, listings, leverage. What do you want to talk about? So, yeah, we're going to do this again. And Diane,
Awesome.
here's the question that I would ask myself if I were you looking for talent. 2 things. Who do I need to be in order to attract the person I need? The second thing I would tell you to do is create a missing persons report on the person you're looking for. In other words, I want you to get pencil and paper and start making a list of what that person looks like. And after you've completed that list, then just go find that person. You know, what's the one thing I can do such that by doing it, everything else becomes easy or unnecessary? It's the focus question. Sometimes that the answer to that question is find the right person. There's a missing person in my organization. My one thing is find that person. Megan,
I
talk
love
to
that
us.
idea.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So a couple things. Diane, real fast, I don't know if you've taken career visioning yet. If you haven't, I highly suggest it because that'll make your process a lot easier whenever you go to hire your admin. So just get with your leadership about career visioning. And then the second thing is, again, you were cutting out. However, the parts that I did hear, what stood out to me was like showing assistants and things. So I'm on a team. However, we don't have showing assistants. So I've adopted Tara Carter's model where she basically has multiple showing assistants for herself. And I also adopted hers as far as pairing them up with buyers based off of their disc profile so that they can get an exceptional experience based off whoever that showing assistant is. Because then, you know, if they need a Vanna White, I'm not going to stick my high D with them. You know what I mean? So it just all depends on the client, and then you can pair them up based off of personality.
Love it. Thank you. All right, guys, I've got 9 a.m., which means I'm jumping from this to Rainmaker Plus. And thank you, everyone, for hanging in there with me and my poor internet signal today. I'll work on whatever I need to do today in order to make sure that doesn't happen again. I will look forward to seeing you all tomorrow morning at 8:30, and make it a great day.